And if you want to find out if Paul Collins and his team were successful in their search at Loch Ness, then you can go along to the Family Fun Day. It's on June the 12th at Heaton Park.
I've just found a completely brilliant way to impress the girlies! Buy yourself a new bottom! A bit drastic, but there's no need for an operation! Some of the best sports shops are now selling new bottoms! You can buy a new bottom off the peg! Well, new Puma jeans, actually. They look absolutely brilliant round your bottom!
Jeans by Puma, available now at some of the better sports shops.
That's my bottom singing!
Well, I'm your love. It's 20 minutes to 8, Woods on the Wireless, and Paul Collins. Paul Collins is from Whitefield, and he's attempting to raise money for Booth Hall Children's Hospital for a brain scanner they urgently need, but in an unusual way, on a raft. Not only on a raft, but on a raft in Scotland. Not only on a raft in Scotland, but on a raft in Scotland on Loch Ness. Because, laddie, it's a monster hunt. He joins us now from the world's most famous loch. Whose idea was this?
Whose idea was it? I'd like to say it was somebody else's, but I must accept full responsibility, I'm afraid, for that, Phil.
Well, there are various interesting ways of raising money, certainly for brain scanners for Booth Hall Hospital, which, of course, as we all know, is a deserving cause. But why a monster hunt?
Why a monster hunt? A monster hunt? I get asked that quite often because it attracts people's attention. Loch Ness is obviously famous for its monster, so we're actually using the lochs publicity-wise because of its monster to get it to the Booth Hall Children's Hospital cause.
How long did it take you to organise this?
To organise it, we started building the vessel last August.
Can you describe what the craft looks like, Paul?
Can I describe what it looks like? Well, we've been stopped on the road and asked to buy candy flosses from. People thought we'd been Cafes. It's similar to a house. It's a houseboat more than a raft. It's got 2 decks, 20 foot long. It's got an upper deck, lower deck. It's got a 2-litre Volvo engine, 5-speed gearbox. Many diverse things, such as the radar on the top, twin headlamps on the front, spot lamps on the back, CB, marine radio. And obviously it is a raft. It's built on 42 oil drums.
Have you got any sonar facilities?
Any sonar facility? We've been loaned sonar from the Royal Navy at Pierhead, although we're having a great amount of difficulty using it.
You don't know how it works?
Well, we're having problems with that, Phil, but there's a gentleman up here at Cailin Marina, fantastic bloke, I tell you. I've never met a guy like him. He's even we've got a cabin cruiser now, which is escorting us most of the time. The conditions out here are terrible. I mean, I didn't for 1 minute believe a lot could be like this.
What's it like?
There's a 2-foot swill. The waves just break over the front of the raft. They've actually shattered the front window on the first day. We've got a 1/4 inch perspex window on the front. We got on the vessel last night, came down the Caledonian Canal, which was quite calm, and we hit the loch. I mean, you feel the wind hit you.
How big is the loch, Paul?
How big is it? It's 26 miles in length. It stretches from Inverness down to Fort William. Its width is only a mile. Its actual length is the problem because it gets the prevailing wind, going up to Inverness, and right now it's blowing at 30 knots.
How deep is the loch?
How deep is it? It's 750 foot on average. An interesting fact there, Phil, is did you know you can fit the population of the Earth 3 times over into Loch Ness and still plenty of space left?
Give over.
It's true, it's a fact. There's a museum up here. That's one of the things that we've been reading about. Unbelievable.
Have you seen the monster yet, Paul?
Haven't seen the monster yet. Not in the daylight, no. But I can tell you, Phil, you think differently at night, mate. In the day, in the sunshine, no problem. But when you're out in the dark, and like last night, it was about 10:30 at night, the mist came down. You couldn't see more than 7 foot in front of you. All we could see was 4 penetrating beams from the lights. And every little noise then is just, it is suspect. And the lads that are, they're all big lads, they suddenly go very quiet because it's a different place at night, Phil.
Paul Collins on Loch Ness at the moment. Him and 3 other laddies
search for the monster deep below. Will he find it tonight? If he does, we'll tell you tomorrow.
Harty takes a turn for the worse, and there's more chaos in store at Manchester Airport.
That is, if you believe one Salford man and his friends. Paul Collins. No, not the chap. No, not him. Not the one off Brookside, dear. No, this is a different one. There's more than one. Yes. Paul Collins, famous for his exploits on a raft down the River Irwell, has just returned from a Highland fling, wheeling the famous Nessie on the back of a pickup truck. Right into Manchester city centre. Oh, yeah. FDD, Fiona Duncan. Sounds interesting. Reveals all. Hey, Jimmy!
With the Irish pipe band, yes, I did say Irish, there to greet her, Nessie was wheeled into Piccadilly Gardens with a smile, a rather fixed and immobile one at that, on her face. She looked pretty good for the journey. Plastic. But me, sceptical? Never. Paul Collins, who took his raft up to the Chilly Loch, told me about the capture.
We got it back with a lot of effort. A lot of people spent a lot of time. She's quite violent, actually. We didn't expect that. We was told that the monster was pretty placid, but there was a few people injured in the process of bringing the monster back. But we've got it back. That's what matters. It's here, isn't it?
Is Nessie bad-tempered?
Very much so, apparently. We've learned that the hard way. The gentleman I'm looking at now on crutches, he was wrestling with the monster at the side of the lock. He sustained a broken leg. One lad got a fractured collarbone. All the people, all 13 of us, spent time in Inverness Hospital because of this.
You must be very frightened, though.
No, not at all, not at all. We're from Salford. People from Salford don't get frightened.
But I still couldn't quite see how this simple raft could have managed to ensnare the beast. Alan Jeeves.
What interest? We succeeded where the Americans failed.
Of course, all this lunacy is in aid of the Booth All Children's Hospital. Scan and repeat.